What's good, YouTube? Cardfight King here. Aqua Life, baby. You already know. Sorry about my voice, guys. Got a bit of a cold, so I'm doing the whole cough drop thing, so it sounds a bit shattered, but it is what it is. We're getting through it. So today, guys, I wanted to bring you my final update pre-Aqua Force Clan Booster to my current main Aqua Force deck, my Thavas Aqua Force Stride build. Now I have not played this deck on the tournament scene since the Dynasty Cup ended. To that reason, I've had work and school pick up quite a bit, as well as this deck has been under construction. And to that point, I've been working fiercely behind the scenes, on improving this deck. Making top 8 the Dynasty Cup, cool and all, hooray, hooray, but it left a very bad taste in my mouth, meaning that I still have work to do on my play style, decision making, as well as my build. So I've been playtesting quite a bit with my brother and the rest of the team, as well as on Cardfight. You guys saw it in the stream and whatnot. I've been on Cardfight a lot more often lately, trying to practice playtest with the new support that's coming out, as well as seeing how the current support that we have now interacts and synergizes with the new support. Now, much like Tetra Drive, we can send this deck off into the archives, but I do this for 2 points. I know this is another Aquaforce deck, guys, but it's one that you can, you guys can use as a reference. If you're building building an Aquaforce deck, usually a Thavas, mostly a Thavas deck really for this one. But if you're building a deck or you're trying to change the deck, you can use the multiple profiles that I have of my Aquaforce decks as references. For when you guys are building them. Seeing how I see and experience the cards that are in my build, from my point of view, how I have used them and whatnot. So you can possibly add them in or not, whatever you may do. It's just a reference. As well as, guys, especially if a card is your main, if this is your main deck, if you have a main deck and you have sufficient amount of support, I believe that your deck should not be sedentary, meaning that there should not be just sitting down doing nothing, not constantly changing to combat the current format. As a tournament, as a competitor, my deck is always changing. I'm always trying to find new combos, new card combinations, decision making at different stages and whatnot, ride targets, whatever, because I believe that I can always improve my deck, especially with my main deck and have sufficient amount of support. I can always find ways to improve and get better. And so I've been working fiercely behind the tournament scenes to get my deck to championship status again. Like I said, I have a bad taste in my mouth, and now I'm trying to work to get back to my throne, so to speak. But throughout the profile, guys, I'll tell you what I will be changing come the clan booster and whatnot, and I have some other cards here that I'll show you that you guys can substitute. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, guys, so starter is still Officer Cadet Andre. Counterblast 1, throwing a soul, turn anything into a Magma Assault. I really like the new starter that we're getting for Thavas as well, so it's going to be a competition between both of them because that starter actually enables the 4th battle for free as long as you have a Thavas Vanguard. So we'll see how it goes, but for right now, running him for the current format. Obviously, 4 heal triggers, got to have them. So for right now, guys, I'm running 4 draw triggers. Now, what I plan on doing is probably switching up to 6 draw triggers. We got to run Malika because Malika is, the best draw trigger we have competitively. But the reason why 6 is because, like I said in the previous video, adds a little bit more defense early game, getting the extra card to your hand, especially since field disruption is a thing. Having more cards in your hand so you can call things out, whatnot, is good for card advantage purposes. But since the grade 2 game is getting a lot bigger now, especially with ripples coming out, draw triggers are probably one of the best triggers that you can hit on damage or when you trigger check, because it adds another card to your hand for defensive purposes. A 5k shield blocks a lot of attacks during the grade 2 game, and overall just, again, helps you with card advantage. But during the grade 2 game, draw triggers are really useful, so that's one reason why. And then obviously 8 critical. These criticals will be changing to the Thavas critical trigger, the Persona crit, as I like to call them. And I'll probably be taking out 2 of these guys because the deck doesn't counterblast that heavily, depending on what you've added to your build. So, it's a switch off between the 2. But like I said, if depending on how the grade 2 game gets, I might be switching to 6/6. So it's either or, especially for you guys. All right, on to grade 1. Alright guys, so for grade 1, running 4, the Plato, the Unflipping Perfect Guard. Now, if I were to go to a bigger tournament, I'd probably switch these to Pascal because the deck does not run through Counterblast like a madman. So Counterblasting is very free in this deck, so you don't necessarily need him, but I do like to have him just for that chance to unflip, especially since, you know, more on my local scene, I don't run into Dimension Police with Laurel or, you know, the Cross that often. And so, you know, to that fact, these guys are a very safe option for me right now. But if I were to go to a bigger tournament, or if you guys are having a problem with the Cross and Dimension Police and Laurel and whatnot, I would definitely switch up to Pascal. But when the new support comes out, depending on how counterblast heavy your build is, you might want to keep these in. 4 Stride Enablers, because we got a Stride now. I'm running 3 Stacia and 2 copies of Orthea. I bumped up Orthea and took her down 1 because I've been using Orthea a lot more lately. I've been using her a lot more, especially in conjunction with some plays I've done with Tidal Assault, getting like 4 attacks off of 1 column. That actually were, you know, all hitting was pretty nice. And so I've been trying to more aggressively use her skill. Especially since she has resist when set 5 comes out. You know, Chaos Breaker is probably going to be coming back, and, you know, some more pinpoint locking is going to happen. So definitely having her as a resist unit in the back row, maybe Meliana too, is going to be nice, you know, for us Aqua Force, you know, having a nice counter to Link Joker, especially if Link Joker gets big in your area. You know, we have sufficient amount of support where we can change up the deck to help combat those types of things. But I still love her free 9K from the back row, especially on Lambros turns, opens up a lot of combos. So I've been working a lot with these two, and I've been using her a lot more aggressively, and it's been, you know, paying some pretty nice dividends. All right, on to grade 2. All right, guys, so we're gonna get the staples out of the way. For Tidal Assault, gotta have them. For Magnum Assault, gotta have them. The reason why I call, I pretty much. See, these are like my core cards. These are my foundation cards. Some people don't like Tile Assault. Some people do. I personally believe Tile Assault is possibly it's probably the best rear guard in Aqua Force. Next to Magnum Assault and some other things. But I think this is probably the best. He is just too clutch, early game, late game, whatnot. But not about him. But these 2 cards are not going to change in my clan booster build for him. These guys are the staples. These guys are the foundation cards. When I say foundation, I mean cards that you have in your deck that are going to say that you build around them, help support them, help bring them up. These are your core cards. So I believe these guys right now are my staple, my core cards. And then I'm doing 2 Saberflow and 2 High Tide. I was testing builds with like 3 of him or 3 of her or whatnot, flip-flopping between the 2. I mean, I like the 2-2 split between them. High Tide is very good, but he can run through your soul quite a bit, which would promote more aggressive usage of Malika and the crit trigger. But he's going to be a lot better when we get the Persona crit for Thavas. It's going to, him and Orthea are going to have a lot more synergy and interaction with the soul when we get that Persona crit trigger. It's gonna be very very good for the deck. But until then, these 2 good. Saberflow Sarah saved my ass a lot of the times. She's a very, very clutch card in some situations, as well as she is one of the best. She is one of the better beneficiaries of Thavas's stride break skill, being that we can swipe at the opponent's Vanguard. It's not going to hit. We're still going to kill off a card, so it'll be like her getting a guaranteed kill on a card, as well as sending her away, drawing 2 cards, adding to our hand, and clearing a circle. Pretty nice. So, you guys can change up how you want. Adelaide will be coming out soon, and I'll talk more about Adelaide because I know my boy Ice Cream Phantom doesn't like her. I'm still on the fence about her, so we'll see. We'll see coming out. But and also depends on your build and whatnot, how you play her. So it's we'll see. There's a lot of work to be done, but right now I like this. All right, on to grade 3. All right, guys. So for grade 3. You guys know him. I love my Max. Love the combos that he pulls out in the deck. Very nice. But we also have another additions card, which is why I cut him down to 2. Strikehead Dragon. The reason why I cut him down is like some of you guys have been telling me to try him out, and I have been trying him out. He's been pretty nice. So his GB1 skill is that when a unit attacks on the 3rd battle of the turn or more, it gains 3,000 power at GB1 for him. His other abilities is when you ride him on the Vanguard circle, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, you call a card from your hand, and it gets the ability that if it attacks an opponent's Vanguard and it's the 1st battle of the turn, you can restand it. So the best thing is like if you happen to ride him, you have a Max in your hand, call Max out, attack Vanguard 11, restand, attack Vanguard for 11, things like that. Helps you reach the 4th battle. I'm using him because he's another ride. I like him as a ride target better than Max. And during the Dynasty Cup, I would have rather had him over Max to ride because it would have promoted more attacks and I could just done some different things. And he's been testing out pretty nicely lately. But I wanted to have an additional target that I like to ride. Now, obviously, Thavas right here is the main dog, the main home dog, the main boy. But this means that in my deck, I have, along with Strikehead, I have 6 cards that I could ride. 6 cards that I would like to ride. 2 cards that I rather have on rearguard circles. But 6 targets that I would have to ride. So it gives me more targets to ride, which I really wanted. But definitely 4 copies of Thavas. He's the main card of the deck. He's going to be the main card of the deck when the clan booster hits. He's one of the foundation cards that you definitely build around. So yeah, now for his ability, you guys know he's on the 4th battle of the turn for GB2. He's a Silent Tom with a crit. But for his Stride Break skill, on the 4th battle, only on the 4th battle, when your unit attacks a Vanguard, it cannot take anything that has to attack a Vanguard. Choose 3 of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent chooses one of them and to retire. If your opponent has less than 3. Then you choose as many as you can. We have the do as much as you can rule in Vanguard. You do as much as you can. You choose as many as possible. Your opponent chooses to retire. So if your opponent has 3 rear guards, one of them's resist, you can't. So you obviously can't choose a resist unit. So you choose the other 2 units. Your opponent chooses one of them to retire. If your opponent only has 1 card in the field, well, bye-bye to that card if it's not a resist unit. So you choose among all the legal targets as possible, up to 3. And if they have less than 3, choose as many as you can. But that's it. That's him. Some people have been really confused on it, and I'm like, look, he's been out since May or April, whatever it is. Give it the program. Time to give it the program, guys. Been out for a while. All right, on grade 4 or Stride. All right, guys. So for Stride, 4 copies of Title Bore. Title Bore. The reason why I don't like Socrates, I never really used him. Probably 1 out of every 10, 15 games I used him, but he was more or less Blizza fodder, whatnot. He didn't really offer much to me, guys. Blizza as well. Blizza, if I I talked about it with a teammate of mine. If you're going into Blizza, that generally means that you're in some kind of trouble stride-wise, and that's not really good. So I went for 4 tile board because I wanted to go for the plus, like I had the Dynasty Cup. And he worked out a lot better at 4, when you're going for that initial on-hit plus. So I like him at 4 right now. Obviously, when the Clan Booster comes out, 2 of him is going to be Commander Thavas. The other 2, one's going to be a tile board, one's going to be Aristoteles. I might go with 2 Aristoteles. Aristoteles is an amazing unit. Pinpoint retire for a single counterblast. In a lot of matchups, you can't get better than that. So I don't know if I'll still be running title board come the Clan Booster. We will have to see, but definitely for right now, he's our best first Stride option and good mid game stride. Like I said, guys, you're going into mid-late game. Your opponent's at like 2 damage, 3 damage. You know that your Lambros, maybe your Lambros turn's not going to be super effective and is not going to really work, especially if they're at like 2 damage, whatnot. Going to title board, your opponent, depending on how you set him up, your opponent will be more likely to let him hit. If he does hit, you get that extra plus, build up a little bit of a defense, then go into Lambros when your opponent's in that nice range. So definitely a good card, early to mid game. Then obviously the best strike card, Lamby Bambi. Definitely not changing. It's my SP copy here, $50 card, amazing. Yeah. He's what wins you games, guys. There are some people who are like, oh, you can only win on Lambros. Yes, I don't care. Damn it, if I can win the game, the match, whatever it is, and it's on Lambros, I'm gonna go into Lambros. You win on Thavas, on whoever else without using Lambros. Congratulations to you. You want a cookie? You want a medal? Okay. Whatever. If you think that winning not winning on Lambros or refusing to use Lambros to win on something else will, turn you into a god amongst Aqua Force players and Vanguard players in general, whatever it is, I'm sorry, newsflash, it's not. Lambros is our beast. Lambros is what wins us games, guys. He is what's won me a majority of my games. I have won on title board, Thavas, and other things like that before. I have done that before, but a majority of my games have been won on Lambros. Lambros is a true finisher card. He is a true finishing stride unit that puts us in position to win the game or will win us the game because of his ability to allow at least two extra attacks at plus 10,000 power. And you can complain to me and be like, oh, all you can do is win on Lambros. Well, damn it, I will win. Here's my thing. Like Herm Edwards says, you play to win the game. I play to win the game. As a competitor, I pay money to play this game and whatever. I play to win the game. And damn it, if Lambros is going to win me the game, I'm going to go into Lambros. I'm going to feed my beast. Like the Seahawks, I'm a Skins fan, guys, but Redskins. But like the Seahawks should have gave Marshawn Lynch the ball in the Super Bowl to win the game on the goal line. They didn't do that, and they lost the game. I'm going to give him the ball when I'm at the goal line to winning. I'm going to give him the ball, and we're going to win the game. Because he is my beast, and I'm going to feed my beast. And if anyone tells me that, if anyone complains to me that, oh, well, you can do it without Lambros, sure, I can do it without Lambros. But if my beast is in position to give me the best chance of winning, if my beast is in position to win the game, I'm feeding my beast. And I'll be damned if anyone tells me not to go into Lambros, go into something else, because it'll be funny. It will be, it'll be funny. It'll be interesting. It'll be cool. No, I don't care. I play to win the game. Like Hermano says, I play to win the game. If my beast wins me the game, then damn it, I'm going into my beast. And we're going to win this game. So, that's my little rant about, because we got into a little bit of a argument sometimes with people about winning on Lambros and stuff. But like I said, guys, feed your beast. Feed your beast. Alright, Cardfight King, guys, I'm out. Remember, Lambros is the beast. Feed that beast. Aqua Life, and we're out.